interesting, to say the least. I spent pretty much my entire session on the bench today, which was fun. It's been a long time since I've come into the gym and literally just done a single exercise a lot. So that was fun. It felt good. I enjoyed that. I really enjoy focusing on one particular lift. You get to learn a lot about you and that lift. And today I happened to experiment with some banded bench press for the first time ever. I've never tried it before. Unfortunately, due to the way I had to set it up, I wasn't just being pulled directly down. I was being pulled slightly backwards as well, which really lit up my biceps, which was strange. It was a really weird experience. However, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, to the point where it's definitely something that I want to program. And I want to experiment more and more with banded work, speed work, whatever you would call it, because I've never played with it before. And I've always been an explosive person. Just from an athletic perspective, I always was much better at explosive sports than I was at endurance sports. So that was fun. However, I did feel at one point like it was going to take away from what I actually wanted to do in the bench. I came in today knowing that I wanted to at the very least touch 125. I knew that I wanted to touch 125, and I was feeling good mentally getting into the gym, so I knew within myself that if I felt good physically as well, I was going to see what I could take today and see where it takes me. That's how I've PR'd on the bench in the past, so that was my mindset going into today. However, after the banded benches, going to no bands, admittedly, I probably jumped too high. I think I overestimated the amount of resistance you get on the bands and felt like going from banded 80 to just 100 no bands would be fine, normal, easy, okay, however you want to put it. But it felt heavy. It felt heavy, to say the least. And interestingly, my work at 100, 115, and 120, I only did singles. My biceps were overly engaged. And I think it was from the banded bench press. And maybe the way I had the band set up, the fact that I was getting some resistance backwards as well as downwards. But my biceps were overstimulated to the point where once I got to 120, I believe, I felt like I was pressing it up with my biceps. And I know this sounds so weird. Anybody that's bench pressed in the past will be thinking what on earth are you talking about? I don't know how to explain it. It was a very strange experience. Very, very strange experience. Obviously, anybody who understands the bench press understands that your biceps are active more than you probably realize in the bench press, because in many ways they're our brakes, right? They're the things that slow us down on the eccentric and stop us from just absolutely collapsing. Everything's used at all times, basically, the long and short of it. Anyway, I digress. And it wasn't until I touched, I believe it was 125, that I started to, my triceps felt like they'd turn on and started to feel like, oh, I'm benching normally now. I'm benching properly now. And I'll be honest, I needed that. It was quite reassuring because the extra bicep stimulation started to make me a little nervous and started to creep me out a little bit, dare I say it. And I really didn't like that. I really, really didn't like that. So once I touched that 125, it was either 120 or 125. I can't remember exactly. But once I touched that and felt my triceps turn on again and just felt like my biceps were normal, like they almost, you don't really feel them. You don't feel them at all in the bench. That I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I can test today. I can see what I've got in the tank. So I took 130 and it moved nicely. I must admit, I'm not happy about the fact that my bum came ever so slightly off the bench, sorry. But it was good enough for me to take. I didn't feel like I really drove it up with my hips. It just, my hips just happened to come up slightly and it wasn't that dramatic. I decided to take it again to see if I could keep my hips down. Unfortunately, same scenario again. But I was happy with it. I was happy with the 2 reps. I was happy that I got it up twice as well, to be completely honest. There was a part of me that was somewhat surprised that I had the capacity to get it up twice. Which made me think that I maybe could have tried 32.5, but I was more than happy to take the win of taking 2 singles, to be completely honest. But yeah, all in all, it was good. It was a nice bench day. It was nice to experiment with the bands, and it was obviously nice to PR. It's been a little while since I've PR'd. It's been a little while since I've even dared testing a PR. Frustratingly, as soon as that 130 came up for a second time, I just couldn't stop thinking. Even right now, just can't stop thinking about 3 plates. I just want 3 plates, man. I really wasn't that 140. But patience. You go chasing after something and you're going to get burnt. So one must stay patient. Just keep working. Keep chipping away. But we'll take it. 130 bench, we'll take it. 122 and a half for 4. 130 for 1. Could be worse. If you made it this far, thank you very, very much. Hope your training is going well, and I shall see you tomorrow.